Piriformis Syndrome, pain in the buttocks. It burns. You can't sit on it any longer. Maybe you don't want to get to know it at all. We are going to do a special training for 25 minutes. You'll be surprised how you feel afterward. I look forward to your comments. We'll start by eliminating the cause of your Piriformis syndrome. We'll do the whole thing for the left side, left buttock. If you have problems on the right, please do that at the same time, but do it on the other side. If you have it on both sides, do the left side first, and then with the same video, do it again on the right side. And then everything is much, much better. We're going to start with the first exercise. Please get on all fours, straighten your lower back, and let yourself sink down so that we can take out all the tension in the front. Because in the back of the buttocks, the piriformis, the pain in the buttocks is because everything is too short in the front, and that's why everything in the front has to be made longer. Let yourself sink more and more, and make sure that your groin falls forward. Your groin wants to go down, not your belly. The groin wants to go down more and more. Breathe out nicely, and let it hang down more and more as you exhale. And we tense both knees against the floor as if you want to push the knees into the floor. And you release the tension again and bring the groin down lower. So we don't want to go too much into a hollow back. A little bit can't be avoided, but above all, you sink down with the groin. So with the hip joint axis, so that's overstretched, so that your hip flexor is nicely stretched out. And then you tense up again as if your knees wanted to go down. And then you pull your knees upwards. And try to lift the knees off the floor. And push the knees into the floor again. Increase the force. The harder you push now, the more your hip flexor gets used to feeling comfortable at that length. And then, with your buttock pain further on the horizon, the cause is already almost gone. Yes? When that cause is gone, and then let go again, and come down deeper with the groin. And push again, one last time, really against the floor. And lift the knees backward and upwards. And then you come lower again, as you see. And now we put the right knee out so that we hit another part of the left hip flexor. You notice, now it pulls the hip flexor in a different way. In the groin. It's a different feeling. Now we focus more on the area of the hip flexor that pulls into the pelvis. Maybe you can even understand that by feeling it. Yes, nice, deep down. With the left side of the groin. If you can't hold yourself up with your arms in between, just lie down with your upper body on the couch or on an armchair. Because that's not the point. That's also quite good as a workout for the arms, for the shoulders. It can't do any harm, but the effect comes from hanging. That's why you can also lie your chest down. Just hold on with your arms as long as you can. Then they'll be a bit stronger the next time. And keep sinking the left groin down. And now, push the left knee into the floor without lifting the pelvis up. Really push it in. And pull the left knee up away from the floor. Away from the floor. And then you notice, oh, the left groin reacts. Now there is more tension. More stretch. And push down again. Push down again and pull away again. And make sure that the feeling of the stretch is intense, clearly noticeable, so that you can just about stand it. You have to go to the limits, preferably before going over it. Before, you have to counter stretch in order to endure it. Push the left knee in again. And lift it backward and upwards and come a little lower. And slowly come out again. Move around a bit. Swing your arms a little bit. Because we're going to do the left arm again. But when you notice, oh, the arms can't do it anymore, then lie down on the couch just for the time being. Now we go sideways into this hanging situation and put the left and right knee down. And now it's pulling another way. You see? Now we have another area that is also totally involved in resolving the gluteal pain and your piriformis syndrome. So triggering it, causing it. And that's why we do these exercises first of all, to get the cause in the front and reduce it in such a way that it's not constantly rekindled, because the tensing of the buttocks, of the piriformis muscle, is only because it's all too short in the front. If we make it longer in the front, the reason is gone. And then we take out the tension in the back. And then you'll be surprised how you feel. Let it sink down again. And now we press the left knee. Sideways against the floor, half diagonally, half sideways, half from the front. And pull it backward and upwards. And then you notice, now you're lowering again. And again, we press the knee against the floor. And pull it half diagonally backward and upwards. Let it sink in a little deeper. You notice that with each tensing, you get deeper into the stretch. Keep the intensity at a level you can just bear it. And again, the left knee presses into the floor. Hold the pressure. The tensing is important so that the muscles feel comfortable in the longer length, yes, in the greater length. And release the tension again, and lift the knee away from the floor. And again, press against the floor, really pressing hard, and release. And now slowly come out. That was intense now, but we also need that so that the piriformis syndrome in the back, the buttock pain, that comes under control. In the second part, we go to the chair. And we're going to do 3 special exercises, which we're going to do one after the other, sitting like this. You put your affected side, the leg, on the other knee. And the first exercise is about bringing the left knee down. So now you press with your left arm on the knee so that it sinks further and further down. This exercise has a lot to do with the position of your femoral head in the hip joint. That's what we're working on now. You push further and further down. Don't be surprised that the movement is difficult, right? It's all quite tough at this angle in most people. And that's why you take your time, millimeter by millimeter further down. And stay in the area where it doesn't pull too much, yeah? So you have to be able to bear it just fine. Well, bearable, but on the border of, oh, now I can't take it well anymore, right? where you then have to counter tension in order to endure it. And now you press your left knee against your left arm, but hold it tight so that you can't move. And then you pull your left knee down and push with your hand after. And again, you push your left knee against your forearm. Push really hard and let go. And keep pushing down. And now we come out of it for a moment. Move the leg a little bit. Turn it a bit inwards, outwards, tighten it, move it a bit. And go back in. Try to start right now in the lower position with the left knee. Make your back very straight. Even try to go into a hollow back. Yes, try to arch your back. And now you pull yourself forward. And it could well be that it's now pulling in exactly where you feel your Piriformis syndrome anyway, where you feel the pain in your buttocks. But then don't think, oh, this is hurting me. That's where I feel the pain. You have to think the other way around. Now I'm triggering the pain. That means I'm working on the area that's too short and too tense anyway. And with the exercise, we relax it, make it longer. And then the problem is permanently eliminated. Of course, you have to repeat the exercise at the beginning of every day. Later, when it's not so bad, 3 times a week. And later after that, perhaps at least once a week. But as soon as you notice that something is tightening up again because there must be something in your everyday life that triggers it, then you start doing the exercises again, at the latest then. But it's best to do them regularly anyway, also as a preventive measure. And now we go further and further forward, staying in the hollow back, like this, as this spot at the back, which hurts, subsides. Keep going forward. And now we press with the left foot against the right knee. Actively push, press actively, even harder. And let go. And go further into the stretch. And again, you push against your right knee with your left foot. Really push against it. Release and go further in. And again, as hard as you can, press with your left foot against your right knee. Really hard. Come on, give it a little more gas. You did great. And again, and a little further into the stretch. If you like that, share. Give it a thumbs up in between. We're going to take a quick break. Please share it with all the people who have buttocks because they actually need this exercise. And if it hurts them, they need even more. And thumbs up, please. It would be nice if you liked it. If you don't, don't. So, putting it back on again. Third part. Going back into the stretch. And now we go forward until it pulls. And watch out. Now we go to the side, half diagonally to the front right. Staying in the hollow back, the belly button is best pulled in. And then you notice it starts to pull really badly at another corner back there. You have to know, the Piriformis syndrome is ultimately that the piriformis is so tense that the sciatica is pressed, and the piriformis can also burn from overexertion. Yes, because it has to counter tension, and we simply release all that by taking out the tension. The tension is too high. That is the cause. And go further and further to the right. Yes, further and further to the front right. So to the right and forward at the same time. The more you go to the right, or how much you go forward in going to the right. That's what your body tells you in the end. I'll give you 3 guesses. We have this saying, only what matters is what hurts, so we have to go where it hurts. We just have to make sure that the pain is not too great, but not too small either. The exercise is of no use if it's too small. If it's too big, you'll strain against it. That is counterproductive. So you have to stay exactly at the intensity where you think, shit, this is not pleasant, but I can bear it and keep going. I hope I get to speak like that for you, between you and me while stretching, and keep leaning into the front right, okay? And now, very slowly out. Is the leg still on? I don't know. Do you know? Try it. Let it down slowly. Okay. Shake it a bit. I don't think I'm allowed to stand up or my head will be out of the picture. Now, let's get back on the mat. Back on the mat. And now we're going to go like this. Attention. Your left thigh is placed parallel to the left edge of the mat. And your knee is 45 degrees to here. Until it's fully bent, right? Your right leg goes back like this. And now you keep straightening like this and at the same time lower yourself till you notice that there is maximum pull in the back of your buttocks. Another different angle now, another different phase, another more release of sciatica, and overall relaxation of the whole piriformis thing. Because we want to get rid of the piriformis syndrome, the buttock pain. We don't want to have that anymore. And every time you think, oh, that's where I'm triggering, you have to have a little celebration inside, because then we're on the winning track and we'll really get rid of the piriformis syndrome. Keep stretching. And now, press your knee into the floor. The knee presses into the floor. You let go, keep going back in, and again, knee into the floor, release, keep going back in. Take your time. Look a bit when you release the most, at what angle, when you move and how. And come out briefly. And now you move your leg a little higher, because a different knee angle means that you now reach other structures in the back of your buttocks. We want to resolve everything to the maximum. Find your position and try to push yourself as far as possible to the right. And then go down with your torso until you have the feeling that you achieve the most tension in the back of your buttocks, because everything you tense now is more relaxed afterward, yes? That's how the whole thing works. And then you press here again really hard into your whole left lower leg. Press it against the floor. Lower leg presses against the floor. Press even more. Press even more. Release the pressure. And now you realize you can go further into the stretch. And then you press really hard against it again. Always remember this. Counterpressing makes sense, or has the effect that you get the muscle that is too short used to feeling comfortable in the greater length, that it can give more. Actually, all muscles should do that. Unfortunately, the way we live leads to specific muscles all over the body shortening and stretching too much. And that's where we have to remove the tension. And then the pain is gone. Although the arthritis is still there, for example, the pain is gone. Yes? You may not believe it, but watch the corresponding videos with us. This is what works. Press really hard with the leg against the floor. Again. Increase the whole thing. And then stop the pressure and go in again further. Again, go in further. I admit it's intense, but I promised you a special training, so please don't slack off. Keep at it. And if maybe you don't quite make it through the first time you do this sequence, then you do a little bit more the next day. And after 3, 4, 5 days, you might do it all the way, right? So don't give up. Always keep at it and do as much as you can. There. Now look. Now the angle has become more open again. I have between my thigh and lower leg 90 degrees plus 45. That makes 135 degrees. And now you notice when you push your torso to the right again, now it pulls more along the buttocks and outer thigh. Outside thigh into the buttocks. Again, different structures. Your buttocks become so soft, so pliable. And yet, of course, it has tone, yes? Don't think it's going to start jiggling then. No. It has tone. The tension gives it real strength. And at the same time, it's relaxed. And now you press the foot in again. Press the foot against the floor. Press the foot down. That's right, really press down. Press down firmly. And then you let go and push your torso a little further to the right. Then you notice it's about to get stronger again. And again. You press your left foot hard against the floor again. Maximum strength training. This is real strength training. In my opinion, the best strength training on the planet. Push down really hard, even more. Tighten up in the final stretch and really put power into it. You can't do anything better for your functional muscles, for your functional muscle function. A little bit double, but you know what I mean. Foot down, push really hard, push harder, press even harder, and push again. So, and now please move slowly because you realize that was already quite extreme. As I said, if you had to get out before you couldn't continue, continue a little bit tomorrow until you've done it at some point. There. Last exercise. Now pay close attention. Your right knee and the left one in front. And now you come over here with your left knee until it practically reaches your right leg with the back of your knee. And then you shift your weight to the left and lift your right leg up. And you see, the left thigh goes a little bit outwards. So the knee is in front of the middle of your body and a little backward. And now please try in a very narrow range of about 10, maximum 15 centimeters in any position. With me, it is now. So you have the greatest feeling that your left thigh bone is being pressed into your hip. That this is where the most stretch is produced. And then you're actually right at the piriformis, and you're really stretching it statistically. The more weight on it, the better. You can even go here and have someone press against your sacrum to increase the force a bit more. Yes, move in a very tight range. Now gravity provides a really nice, wonderful final stretch. When you notice that you lose this point where it really pulls in, wander around a bit more. Try to find it again. And mentally relax your buttocks completely. Let go of your buttocks completely. Yes, relax it specifically. I'm doing that right now. And then the feeling of stretching is immediately doubled. Yes, let yourself really press into it. This frees up the points where it is constricted. This eliminates piriformis syndrome, at least in the long run, if you repeat the exercises repeatedly. Doing them once helps, of course, but it's not the solution, you know? You have to repeat it. And then you slowly come out of it. Okay, great job with that. Thank you for being there. And now I have something very special for you, namely our premium area. This is normally a paid area, but you can test it for 4 weeks free of charge. The reason I say that there are exercises like special routines here, there are also trainings, Sunday trainings, where we train together. You'll find a lot of things you can do for your body. If you click on it, you can take a look at it. I would definitely do that. And if you click there, you'll subscribe to our channel. You'll need it so you don't miss a video. Ciao. See you next time.